Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. We want to say thank you to all of you who watched us through and by our virtual part of worship on yesterday. And we say thank you again for being here in person. What a wonderful blessing it is to have a virtual congregation as well as a physical congregation as all of us begin to explore. And thank God for the wonderful ways that He allows us to pick up the fragments and to do the impossible. Today, I invite you to look with me on this marvelous Monday at Philippians, the 4th chapter, verses 10 through 21. You know, verse 13 says, "For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength." Paul is writing to the church of Philippi, and he thanks God for them. He thanks God for their gifts, and he lets them know that it doesn't matter what goes on. It doesn't matter how insufficient we think we are living life. God is our sufficiency. He lets us know that he has learned that in whatever state he's in to be content. He knows how to have a lot. He knows how to have little. He begins to remind all of us that it doesn't matter what your situation is. Whenever we look at Christ, he can make all things possible. You know, we live in some very difficult and trying times, but we must remind ourselves, as the lesson is written to the church at Philippi, it's a lesson that is written to us, that God will give us whatever financial help we need, whatever physical help we need, whatever spiritual, whatever emotional help we need, because God will supply every last one of our needs. Paul is reminding the church of Philippi that I know God is going to bless you. He has traveled from Macedonia. He has been to Thessalonica, and he has seen how God always meets the needs. You know, too often times in our world, we look at what we think is an insufficiency, but God is able to do far beyond we're able to see. You know, the word begins to remind us in Ephesians 3:20 that God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all you're able to ask, say, or think, according to his mighty power at work within us. We must learn to receive the reward that God has in store for us. God is spiritually generous to us. He gives us every gift, and he sends people to be his agents of blessing. We must remind ourselves that God sometimes wants us to supply the needs of those who find themselves in a deficient state. We must always remember, when we have plenty, we need to share with others. When we're in need, others will share with us. This text begins to remind us how important it is to know that God will be our sufficiency. He will give us everything that we need, that we might not only have enough for ourselves, but we have some for someone else. You know, I want to remind you, let's always share with everyone the goodness that God has shown to us, because God didn't create us to be selfish, but he wants us to be selfless. Let's make sure that we are not just looking out for ourselves, but we'll look out for the rest of the community. Take the Lord with you everywhere you go, and I look forward to seeing you again on tomorrow.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.